What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. It is the start of week 3 of Night Terrors. I finally caught up last night, and to start us off, we're going to be talking about Night Terrors Catwoman issue number 1. So this issue itself was written by Teenie Howard and art by Layla Lights. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but of course, once again, a mysterious and deadly new villain named Insomnia has struck. The entire world has been forced into eternal slumber, including all the heroes and villains, as Insomnia searches their dreams for the Nightmare Stone. Can the heroes survive being trapped within their darkest fears? Okay, one other thing about this headline: where is Insomnia? Why isn't he showing up in these tie-ins? For the most part, a good chunk of them, he's not even there. Like, he very rarely shows up. He'll show up in, like, the Batman one, like, you know, kind of the bigger DC characters, but Catwoman, Insomnia's not here. So, like, or Shazam, I don't think he really showed up in that one. He should be showing up more in these, like, Freddy Krueger and A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is basically what this event is. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Every character has their own fears and insecurities, and they're trying to survive their dreams, if you will. Some people are dealing with it in the waking world, some are in the dream world, but Insomnia should be there at the heart of all this stuff. He's looking for the Nightmare Stone to gain his power. Why isn't he in every single one of these dreams looking for it? So that's something that's kind of bugging me about this little event. He's not really even in this thing. This is more of a Catwoman focused thing. In fact, I think if you're looking for something that's more connected to the Teenie Howard Catwoman run, I think this issue is more in line with that. The Night Terror stuff feels a bit like an afterthought, if you will. This is more kind of setting that issue or that series up for the inevitable Batman versus Catwoman war. We get her insecurities. I actually forgot about Selina's sister, which this issue kind of reminded me of. Like, you get to see the contrast between her and her sister that she had before. How her sister, like, took more of the path of the light in the church, and then how Selina kind of had to go the more opposite direction to become a little bit more tough, rugged, tooth as nails. So in regards to that, if you're more enjoying that, like, stuff, I think more people will probably enjoy this one. But if you're looking for something that forwards the Night Terrors narrative more, I feel like this one's kind of another one of those issues that didn't really need to be titled Night Terrors Catwoman. Insomnia is not here looking for the Dreamstone. It feels mostly kind of disconnected from the rest of the event, to the point where it's like, oh yeah, without, like, the little title. If you just titled this Catwoman so-and-so, would have been totally, like, fine, or, like, whatever the next issue was. But again, we get more of Selina's insecurities. We see her issues going on with Bruce and all that. And compared to other heroes, her nightmares don't seem all that bad. I mean, at least compared to the ones I've read so far. I read this one, and I read Nightwing, and then I'll get around to reading the rest later on today. But yeah, hers is about, like, Batman, like, kind of forgetting her, but she's still kind of making out with him in the issue, if you will. So, like, all things considered, her nightmare isn't all that bad, and it's really just okay. It's like just being forgotten and just concerned for her family. But all things considered, she kind of got, like, she didn't draw the short straw, if you will. Like, it's not really all that bad for Selina compared to some of the other characters and what they've had to endure. So it's like, why is this even titled Night Terrors Catwoman? It feels so disconnected with everything else that you could have just called it Catwoman issue, whatever they're on next. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, with this Night Terrors events, you should be with these tie-ins and all that, they feel so disconnected, a large chunk of them. And it's kind of repeating the same formula at this point. We're into week 3 right now, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of these don't really tie too much into the main story. I mean, it's like the storyline's kind of encompassed everything. Like, it's a big cloud over everything. But in terms of forwarding the narrative with Insomnia and all that, a lot of these issues don't really do much to do so with that. And that's kind of where this thing comes in. And now, in terms of the artwork, I thought it was, fine for the most part. Not necessarily the strongest I've seen in this event, but I mean, this is the style choice they're going for. I kind of like the scarred look that Catwoman has in this issue, showing the toll a lot of this is kind of taken on her. I completely forgot about her sister even existing for the longest part until I read this thing, like, oh yeah, that's right. Because a lot of Catwoman, like, I kind of, like, in and out when it comes to reading, like, the current Catwoman run. I liked when Ram V was on the title, but, like, even before that, it wasn't really the strongest until, like, he was on there. But after that, it's kind of just been there. Like, I'll read the issues when they drop on DC Infinite, like, a month later. But the rest of the book, I've kind of just, like, lost interest in a lot of it. But this is helping to set the stage for that Batman Catwoman war, just little bit by little bit. So if you're looking forward to that war, which in all honesty, I'm okay with the two fighting at this point, because the whole wedding fiasco was a real disaster for DC. And the run where they were just like bat, cat, cat, bat, bat, cat, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't stand these people anymore. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing them actually go toe to toe and fight. I'm like, you've kind of damaged that relationship to the point where I'm like, you know what? Let them fight, as Dr. Serizawa would say. So anyways, I think if you like the Catwoman run, I think this issue is more in tune with that. If you're looking for something to forward Night Terrors, then you're probably going to be left disappointed, because this doesn't really add to that overall narrative for the event. It's just kind of another issue, and it feels really disconnected from it for the most part. So, but it's still a dream, a lot of this, but at the same time, it's like, where is Insomnia on this stuff? Like, why isn't he showing up looking for this Nightmare Stone? Isn't that the whole point of it? Isn't that why we had the little title card? So yeah, I'm getting a little bit like frustrated in some ways, because I mean, this is a 2-month event, and a lot of these tie-ins feel kind of like an afterthought. So why do we need so many if it's not really going to push the narrative forward all that much? But who knows? Maybe some big reveal will happen in the next issue, and if it doesn't, then it's like, why do we even title this Night Terrors Catwoman? It doesn't feel like essential reading. So, but the issue on its own, I think, is fine. But in terms of forwarding the events, it doesn't really do much. So there you go. There's my quick little thoughts on Night Terrors Catwoman issue number 1. What did you think of the issue? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all the other fun stuff. And after this, I will be talking about Night Terrors Nightwing issue number 1. And then later on today, I'll start covering the rest of the issues, because I got work. So there you go. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.